So many know, but many don't. Um, I lost my dad at 6. And then my mom, she went and met their father and had them. And then when I was 14, she passed away. And so life literally got snatched from under me and under them. And we went on to live with a relative. If you know, you know. I don't want to say right now. But we went on to live with a relative, and life just wasn't what it was supposed to be. Now, for me, it was great. Why? Because I was the first grandbaby and I had a different dad. So I pretty much was spoiled. But my sisters, they were mistreated. And so it bothered me a lot because it was like I could hear my mom's voice saying, I raised you to protect them. And so I would be in my room and I'm hearing them getting beat on, you know what I'm saying? And it's a conflict because you're not doing it to me, but then you're doing it to them. And as a kid, it's like, what can I do to this adult? You know what I'm saying? And so my senior year, it started to get like really bad. At one point, she flipped on me. And it was like, what?
Did she ever try to justify it and say like it was their actions
Girl,
that
no. Girl, no.
so it
Yeah.
was blatantly because y'all had different dads.
Yeah, well, she wouldn't say that,
Yeah.
but yeah, and also just a little background behind that. My mom was taken from her. My mom was molested by the guy she was still married with in that house.
She was still married to him when y'all
Still
moved
in that
in.
house.
Okay.
Yes.
So she knew about your mom
Yes,
and didn't
absolutely.
divorce him.
No. Okay. So yeah, heavy. Okay. Yeah, heavy. So we can kind of guess who the person is.
So at 14, going to their house, did you know that?
Yeah, my mom told me when I was 6.
She told you when you were 6 years
Yeah.
old that she had been touched inappropriately.
And by who? Yeah.
That's a lot for a 6-year-old to process. Like, how do you?
I'm I think that was just her way to protect me. Like
What she say? Like, don't go stand by him. Don't.
at that time, I don't think at one point they got him out. Like they got him out the house. He left or whatever. This is when my mom was way grown, so I was born. He had left for a little bit, and it was just my grandma and my auntie that was there. But he was in the house when I was a baby and stuff. And I know my mama was like, I told your grandma he ain't allowed to change your diapers. I've been like, you know what I'm saying? Like, she really had hate for this man. Like, she tried to kill him a couple
Okay,
times.
a couple times.
And at this point, I had been talking to a social worker because my grandma had jumped on me. I hadn't told anybody. She had scratched me up. I can show you the pictures because it was right before homecoming. I was on the court. And it was one Sunday I went to church, and this woman never talked to me like you know what I'm saying, never approached me. And she called me over, and she's like, "You okay?" It was just really strange. And me, I was very shut off. Like scared to tell, you know what I'm saying, stuff. And I just broke down. I just broke down. She was like, take my number. Took her number. We began to text. And I began to share what was going on. A lot of people wouldn't believe. You know how you have that person who they play or they look like they the Cosbys.
Because this is your grandma goes to this church.
Yeah, yeah.
Probably
She's
upstanding model member.
She's actually, you know what I'm saying, on boards and stuff. You know what
Oh,
I'm
she's
saying?
on the church.
She's working.
She's on the board.
She's working in the
Okay.
church is what I'm
For
saying.
the
She's
Lord. Got
yes, she's like one of the head ushers, you know.
Yeah.
So like you've been in this church and doing all of this, and people didn't, but they wouldn't believe my sisters at school when they would go and share that they were being abused. They didn't listen. So the same thing that was happening to my mom when she was young was the same things that, besides the molestation, I'm gonna say that, but the people not listening was going on again. And so when she called me, she gave me the number, and I began to tell her what was going on. And she was like, well, document this stuff for me. And I started taking pictures. Start taking pictures when they was getting beat and all this type of stuff, taking videos so you can hear and things like that. And so when my sister came and was like, hey, she was going to kill him last night. Now, take in mind, they were little. They're like in the 4th and 5th grade. Yeah.
So she was about to kill him, but it wasn't because of molestation.
No,
So
they were tired.
He was also abusing.
Yeah. Like, I'm beat y'all like dogs. And girl, they say all type of stuff. Okay.
Some people like almost live in those alternate realities in their minds. It's
to
like
cope.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a coping mechanism.
Yeah, it is a coping. So you don't do nothing crazy. You know what I'm saying? Because some people go crazy with this background.
So, okay, let's just, on a scale of 1 to 10, from all the trauma that you've talked about thus far, because you have gone through some stuff.
That's just the beginning. And
that
ain't even
childhood.
Like deep level. That's just pinch here, pinch there, pinch there.
Yeah, that's just a little surface stuff.
Yeah.
From those things, on a scale of 1 to 10, like, where would you rate your healed level from those things, okay? Not from everything.
If I could be honest with you, sis, I don't ever really think I faced healing from this stuff. I think life shifted and then more trauma took my attention. And so it was like, oh, because remember I told you I hated my stepdad. I'm talking about hated, okay? But when my mom died, I all of a sudden didn't hate him because he was familiar.
It's the only person that you had left that you lived
with. It
with.
was familiar.
Yeah.
It was like, but that man, he is, his essence made my marriage struggle. I'm uncomfortable today with men. Like, men scare me. That's crazy, right? They really do. They scare me. Don't talk too close to me. I'm like, you scare me. And I remember one prophet had to tell my husband, like, I was really drawn to God. I never understood it. Like, even, when I was with my mom and stuff like that, I used to get my sisters up and catch a little bus. They come in the neighborhood, get them dressed, and we going to church. My mama wasn't in church. She didn't start going, I think, until the year that she passed. But I've always had, like, this drawing to God. And now as an adult, I understand. As a kid, I didn't know what that was. I just wanted to go to church. I just knew I wanted to go to church. It was just something about church. And so throughout life, like, I had this love for God, but I still did my own thing, as we all have. And as I got older, I ran to God because I just needed something. I wasn't fulfilled. Like, I was empty. Okay, I done had all this trauma. Now, God, I need some peace. Got peace. And then once I got exposed to the fullness of God, and once who I am began to awakening, now comes the trauma with church. It's like, wait a minute. I came here for safety, and now I'm getting hurt here? What is this? And a lot of my hurt came because I had mother wounds, because I had this big, wide open wound that I didn't know that said, vulnerable, void, she needs this, she longs for this.
All right, guys, I'm super excited about these 2 new features. The first is story time. So you're able to go submit your story on a link through my website, and we will share it and read it openly with the community. Maybe you have a story or a testimony that you think will benefit somebody else, and we want to hear it. Our second feature is called Hear Me Out. It's a call-in feature where you'll be able to talk to myself and one of my guests. Maybe you have a completely different vantage point about one of the episodes that we've already recorded where you're like, I would have done that completely differently. Or you have something that you're going through right now and you really need somebody to be a listening ear, and we're here to hear you out. Make sure to hit the like and subscribe button and stay tuned for the rest of this episode.